Hey guys, it's Jenny, and this is our slow flow class. I'm actually going to be out of town this week. I'm super excited. I'll be teaching yoga for bikers at Run to Raton in New Mexico. So it's going to be really, really fun. I hope you guys are doing something fun this week too. And on that note, I was thinking about like doing what we love and just expanding into it, and how sometimes we just get so distracted with life and the things that we're doing that we forget to do the things that make us feel something. Sometimes we have to intentionally bring experiences into our life. We have to intentionally make conscious choices to do things that we know are going to elicit feelings within our being, right? If we get so tied up with like what's going on at work, doing the thing, getting ready for the stuff, getting sucked into like what's happening in our lives. And even for me, sometimes, it's like I gotta remember not to get totally so focused on one thing, one aspect of the experience, that I forget to do the rest of the stuff, that I forget to feel into the rest of the stuff. Remembering like just because I'm having this human experience and I'm meant to experience all breadth of emotion, all breadth of feeling and everything, I don't have to give myself over completely to one experience. I can still hold space for lots of experiences. So even when I'm going through tough times, I'm feeling challenged, watch a sad movie, or not even a sad movie, a beautiful movie, a funny movie, like something that's going to make me feel something inside, that makes me feel good, that makes me feel awesome. The little rituals that we do for ourselves that bring us so much joy, having experiences, going out and trying new things and having different experiences. Like, when was the last time you just felt something? When was the last time you felt your heart expand into something so big? And if you're not doing that regularly, where you're having these situations or these experiences that you feel your heart expanding into it fully and completely, then we really need to be making space for those kinds of experiences to occur, for those kinds of opportunities for us to feel something. Like even just, sometimes the nostalgia of just like putting on the old Romeo and Juliet with like Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio, those kinds of movies, like when I was a kid, even just I could feel like myself expand into that thing and just felt so awesome that, yeah, I'm gonna be sad, but there was still so much beauty in it. And so just like to put on a movie like that sometimes, I know it's gonna elicit those same kind of feelings inside of me. It doesn't even have to be like a new experience, but something that we know is gonna make us expand into it, right? So just thinking about like, when was the last time I fully expanded into something? Am I allowing my circumstances to be so distracting to me, my situations that are perhaps challenging and rough, to like keep me from focusing on all of the other incredible qualities of my life experience? Am I so focused on the perceived challenges that I can't see that there's other things waiting to be felt into and experienced in addition to that thing? So, it's just like doing the yoga and teaching the yoga and going and doing like some of these like rallies and stuff like that. Initially it was something that I was like scared to do and kind of freaked out by. And I'm like, I need to create space for myself to expand into new things. I need to create space for me to have those experiences and just to try new stuff and to meet new people and have all of that thing that goes along with it. So we have to really come up against our fears sometimes too to have these kinds of experiences. Or we have to tell ourselves like we have permission to feel more than just one thing. It doesn't take away from like my grief or my heartache for certain other situations to be happy too. I think a lot of people think like if they're in a situation that's really challenging, it's causing grief and sadness, and that they're helping to like take care of another person or anything like that, that to be happy would be like a slap in the face to that person, that other person, or it would be like, disavowing the experience and saying that they weren't totally committed to it. That's bullshit. We can do many things all at once, right? So make space for all of it. It doesn't mean that I don't love that person or want to take care of them or feel sad or that this situation isn't tough or whatever. to be all able to also to have joy and to be happy and to dance and to enjoy life and to do other things that cause our heart to expand into them. That is not a bad thing. And I don't know where somewhere along the line we, um, owned into that conditioning, but it's time that we change it for sure. So, just thinking about those kinds of things before we get started today. When was the last time I really expanded into something? Has it been a while? If it's been a while, I probably need to look at that and intentionally create something today, right now. Don't wait, don't hesitate, not tomorrow. No, do it today. Make plans to do something that you know your heart's going to expand into. It could be as simple as making a cup of tea for yourself, taking a hot bath. Like, what is the thing? Am I, forcing myself to believe that because I'm in a certain situation right now that there's no room for other feelings, for other experiences in my life? Why am I thinking that? So let's go ahead and get started. Drop the shoulders back and down, coming into that easy seated posture. The more you do it, the more the body just responds, right? The more you even hear those words, the body just starts to react, to respond. It says, yes, I'm ready to come back to this safe space on the mat. Yes, I'm ready to connect to those higher aspects of my being, to recognize that divinity that exists within me that I'm completely composed of. That first, that place first. Deepen the breath, draw it all the way down into the belly. Inflate that belly on the inhalation, and on the exhalation, draw the navel towards the spine, fully expelling all the stagnant air. Really slow and gentle. Open those eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to start just waking up the body. Inhale deeply. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest so that we can begin those gentle neck circles. Taking one ear to one shoulder, crown of the head towards the back wall, opposite ear, opposite shoulder, chin to chest. Continuing to make your way through that gentle rotation of the neck. Pausing and breathing into any of those areas where you're feeling any tension, stiffness. Remembering that we're never pressing into pain or tingling and numbness, just honoring our body exactly where we're at today. Inhaling from the top to the bottom, exhaling from the bottom to the top. Keep it moving. Next time you find your chin to the chest, take that rotation in the opposite direction, moving as fast or as slow as you want to. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fully and completely. Inhale deeply. Then exhale, hinging forward from those hips. Take that soupy grind, beginning in the same direction you took those gentle neck circles. Inhaling from the front to the back and exhaling from the back to the front. Next time you find yourself towards the front of that rotation, take it in the opposite direction. Inhale and rise up into that easy seated posture. We're going to take those arms up, elbows are in alignment with the shoulders, palms of the hands are forward. We're going to inhale, twist to the left side, exhale, twist to the right side, continuing on. That twisting motion feels so good to me. Just to like deepen that twist with every exhalation as the body feels safe and comfortable to take it a little bit deeper. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the hands down onto the knees. We're going to take some gentle shoulder shrugs. Inhale up, exhale down. Keep those eyes closed if you want to, drawing your attention up towards your brow point center, place of your internal voice, the soul space. Exhale down into their neutral position. We're going to come into some shoulder circles now. So inhaling up on the back side, exhaling down on the front. Next time you find yourself towards the bottom of the rotation, inhale forward and up, down and back. And then exhale, release those shoulders back down into the neutral position, just resting in those shoulder sockets. We're going to take our right hand behind our right glute. Left hand comes to the outside of the left thigh, twisting through the spine, gazing over the right shoulder if it feels safe on the neck. Untwisting the spine, take it to the opposite side. Left hand behind left glute, right hand to the outside of the left thigh, gazing over the left shoulder this time. And untwisting the spine, super slow with grace and ease. The flies are terrible today, sorry y'all. So we're gonna take our right leg and we're gonna bend it and we're gonna allow the heel to draw itself up towards those glutes. But we're gonna take the knee forward directly in front of us. With this left leg, excuse me, we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna drop it over the outside of the right thigh. So you're gonna drop the sole of the foot down into the earth. And again, we're gonna take a gentle spinal twist here. So we're gonna take the left hand, swing it behind the left glute. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left thigh, taking the thumb to heart center and gazing over the left shoulder if it feels safe on the neck. Otherwise, just allowing for neutral gaze. Super slow and gentle, untwisting the spine, picking up the right leg, super gentle and easy, take it over. Take that left leg or that right leg out. We're gonna bend through the left leg this time. Knee comes forward, picking up the right leg, drop that sole of the foot into the earth, swing the right hand behind the right glute, left elbow comes to the outside of the right thigh, and gazing over the right shoulder if it feels safe. Really slow and gentle, untwist the spine, picking up the right leg, taking it back, unbend that left leg. And then we're gonna stretch out through those legs, not necessarily working to come into splits or anything like that. Just a comfortable stretch where you start to feel that stretch in those hamstrings. Take those hands just inside of those legs towards the glutes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, you're gonna walk those hands out until you start to feel a nice little stretch. Taking that stretch a little bit deeper, but never pressing into pain or tingling or numbness. And just breathe into the body for a moment. On your next exhalation, walk those hands a little bit farther forward if it's in your practice. One more time. On the next exhalation, walk them forward just a little bit more. Inhale, walk those hands back up towards the body. We're gonna bend through our left leg. Take the heel in towards the glutes. We're gonna twist our body so that the heart is just lined up towards that left leg. Take those hands to the top of the hip crease. Inhale and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, drop those hands all the way down towards the foot and ankle. If you need to stop somewhere on the shin bone, that's totally cool. Just make sure you're not resting those hands on the joints of the knee or the ankle. You want to ensure that those hands are only resting on the shin itself at some point. Or you can even reach for those toes. Or the back of the foot. Just listen to the body and whatever feels best to you. Just breathe into the body as you gaze at the toes. Then release the palms of the hands down onto the shin bones. Inhale, rise up, draw the hands all the way up towards the hip crease. We're going to switch to the opposite side, lengthening through the left leg this time, bending the right leg, pull the heel in towards the glutes. Take those hands to the top of the hip crease as you twist through the spine so that the heart is aligned with that extended leg. Inhale, deepen, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, drop it down. Breathing into the body. Inhale, rise up, draw the palms of the hands back up towards the hip crease. We're going to lengthen through both legs. I'm going to stay at an angle here, but y'all can come along on your mat just so you can see what I'm doing. Take those hands to the top of the hip crease. Inhale deeply, lengthening through the spine, feeling the crown of the head shining into the sky, and then exhale, drop those hands all the way down towards the ankles and feet. If you can take your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes, and go ahead and do so. If not, just keep those hands gently resting on those shin bones somewhere. We're going to do that light nerve stretch. So inhaling up, exhale, drop the elbows towards the earth, releasing the forehead towards the knees. Inhale up, exhale down. You can slightly bend those knees if you need to, if those legs straight is too uncomfortable for you. Inhale and rise up, drawing the palms of the hands back towards the hip crease. We're going to come up onto our hands and knees for that tabletop position now. Take a moment to align yourself in this posture, making sure that the shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists, hips are stacked on top of the knees. We're going to come into those cat-cow stretches, so lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze for your cow. Exhale, round through the spine, tuck the tailbone, take the chin to the chest. Continuing on. Taking those cat-cow stretches, moving as fast or as slow as you need to. Inhale, come back to center. Let's start taking those deep sweeping hip circles. So shifting those hips either to the left or right. Drop the glutes back towards the heels. Take the hips around the opposite side and forward. Continuing to make that circular motion with those hips. Breathing from the front to the back. Inhaling from the front to the back, exhaling from the back to the front. Next time you find yourself towards the front, take it in the opposite direction. Inhale, come back into your tabletop position. Curl your toes under and press your hips into the sky for your first downward facing dog of your practice today. Breathing into the body for a moment, releasing the heels down towards the ground. Take a gentle bend in those knees if you can't fully lengthen through those legs. Then inhale, take your gaze towards the top of the mat and step or float towards those hands hanging in your forward fold posture. Feet are about hips width distance apart, releasing the weight of the crown of the head all the way down towards the mat. Shifting those hips side to side or remaining in stillness, taking your pinkies into opposite elbows or keeping those fingertips grounded into the earth. And just breathe for a moment. Really slow and gentle. Whenever you're ready, roll up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus out. Press the heart space forward. Inhale, arms rise overhead, and exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, rise up, rolling up through the spine, super slow, vertebra by vertebra. Arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, fingertips rise into the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop those hands down into the mat and then roll up again at your own pace. Last time. Meeting in that mountain pose or Tadasana posture. Dropping those hands down into heart center. Excuse me, I'm going to move this mat really quick. Okay. And just breathe into the body for a moment. We're going to move into those sun salutations. I love the sun salutations. They feel so amazing to me. They're like a moving prayer. Just honoring the sun, honoring the light in the universe, the light within our own being, that divine spark. Building on the strength of that light, fanning the flame, feeling that fire growing within our own being through these postures. So as we're moving through our sun salutations, think about it being that moving prayer. Think about building that light, stoking those flames, building that fire, that internal fire within your own being, allowing the light to radiate from within you out into the world, that unique vibration that only you can manifest. So this isn't work. This is building our energy. This is tapping into that universal well of energy that exists for us to draw on. So really focus on lighting that fire within your own being through your sun salutations. We're going to do 3 sun salutations. I'll walk you through the first one, then you're going to do the next 2 on your own, adding or taking away any postures that make it feel super safe and comfortable and amazing for you. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, reach the fingertips into the sky. Exhale, hinging forward, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release those hands down into the earth and step or float back into your plank posture. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Release that belly and that heart space all the way down into the earth, uncurling those toes. Keep those hands aligned to the chest, the elbows tight to the body. Inhale, rise up into that upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, press the knees into the sky. Downward facing dog. Stepping or floating towards the top of the mat and beginning again. Inhale, rise up to more at your own pace. Really sinking into it. Meeting in that mountain pose or Tadasana whenever you're done. Breathe into the body. Come back to your breath. Just notice how the body feels different. We're going to come into our Garudasana Eagle posture next. So breathe into the body and grounding through all four corners of both feet. Feeling yourself rooted and grounded and connected to the earth beneath you. Super slow and gentle. Bending through those knees, opening up through those arms on the inhalation, lifting up through those beautiful eagle wings. Left arm comes forward in front of the face. Right arm drops underneath, wraps around, palms come to touch, or relaxing those hands on opposite shoulders. Listen to your body and whatever feels best. Take those elbows up away from the heart space and gazing between those hands. That gentle bend in those knees. Lift up through the right foot. Wrap that leg around that grounded left leg. You can take those toes behind the calf. You can kickstand those toes in the earth or allow them to hang. Squeezing, focusing on the squeezing of the body. Fly out of that beautiful eagle posture. Pedal out those feet for a minute. Flap those wings if you need to. And then grounding through all four corners of both feet once again. Gentle bend in the knees. Inhale, open up through the beautiful eagle wings. Right arm comes forward this time. Left arm drops underneath, wraps around. Lift the elbows up away from the heart space. Left leg crosses over the right this time. Squeeze as you wrap those parts of the body. Keeping those elbows lifted away from the heart and gazing between your hands. Exhale and fly out of it. Releasing those feet back down into the earth. Pedal them out. Flap those wings for a second. And release those feet back down into the earth. Inhale. Arms come overhead. Exhale. Cactusing out the arms. Inhale. Reach the fingertips into the sky. Exhale. Swan diving forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop those hands into the earth. Step it back for your plank posture. Hold that plank for a moment, dropping those heels, pressing them towards the back wall. Shoulders stacked on top of the wrists. Beautiful long center line of the body. And then on your next exhalation, bend those elbows for that low plank posture. Gazes forward. Exhale, release it all the way down into the earth and uncurl the toes. We're going to come into our Sphinx posture first here. So coming up onto our forearms, palms of the hands are gently resting into the earth. Lengthen through the spine. Feeling the crown of the head shining into the sky. Drop those shoulders back and down. Feeling those collarbones lengthen and broaden. Chin is parallel to the earth. Feeling into that beautiful stretch in your lower spine. If you've had any kind of surgery or lower disc issue or anything of that nature, then you can just relax on your belly. Gently resting one cheek in the earth. If this posture doesn't feel safe and comfortable for you. We're going to take 8 breaths in each of these postures. We're about halfway through, so take a few more deep breaths here. Then on your 8th exhalation, release that belly all the way down. Take those hands back and gently resting one cheek into your mat. Breathe into the body for a moment. And inhale. We're going to come into our low cobra first, and then we're going to move into our full cobra. So we're going to take those hands into alignment with the chest. Those fingertips should be like in alignment with the nipples, essentially. The elbows are going to be tight towards the body. You're going to draw the gaze forward. And inhale, lift up through your chest, lifting it up away from the earth. And gentle pressure in those hands, keeping those elbows tight towards the body. 8 breaths. On that 8th exhalation, releasing the opposite cheek down into the earth. Take those arms back to bring the body, palms of the hands are up into the sky. And just breathe for a moment. Next, we're going to come into our full cobra. So take those hands back into alignment with the chest. Elbows are tight towards the body. Pressing into the palms of the hands. Inhale, rising up. Drawing those hip points away from the mat. Keeping the toes to touch. Gaze is forward, gentle bend in those elbows. Crown of the head shining into the sky. Chest is lifted. Collarbones are lengthened and the shoulders are dropped down into their sockets. Keep those glutes engaged. On your 8th exhalation, super slow and gentle, release the hips and the belly, chest, and then the opposite cheek down into the earth, taking those arms back to frame the body. Close your eyes if you need to. This next pose is our locust pose. So keeping those arms back, palms of the hands can be up towards the sky. When we Inhale, we're gonna lift shins and feet away from the mat. The gaze is forward, chin is parallel to the earth, crown of the head shining into the sky. So inhale and rise up into that locust pose. Eighth exhalation, release that chest and those legs down into the earth, resting one cheek back down into the mat. And breathe into your body. Next pose is going to be our bow pose. I don't know why I forget about this posture a lot. And it's one of those things where it's like we need the postures that we resist most. And honestly, it's probably one that I really, really need. And that's probably why I, subconsciously forget about it or resist it in some way. So if you're like me, then we're going to embrace our bow pose today. So to come into our bow pose, we're going to bend our knees. We're going to reach back with our hands and grasping just underneath those ankles or the tops of the feet. And then on your inhalation, you're going to lift up through the chest and lift those legs away from the mat. And my legs are so tight right now, I can barely do it. So if you need to stretch out a little bit there or flex those legs a little bit before you come into it, feel free to do whatever you need. Knees are together. Eighth exhalation, release, and drop that other cheek into the earth. And I really need to practice that one. It's been a long time. This next exercise I'm going to show you from my back side so you can see what we're doing. You're going to lengthen through your right arm. And then you're going to press your left palm, take it into alignment with your chest. Press into the palm of the left hand and roll yourself over onto your side. You can take that arm and gently release it behind, reaching those fingertips towards that right hip. And then you're going to inhale, bend through your left leg, and plant the sole of the foot behind the right leg. And just breathe into the body. Take this posture only as deep as feels comfortable and safe. Lengthening back through the left leg, stack it on top of the right. Left hand comes back into the mat. Shift your weight over, coming back down onto the belly. We're going to take it to the opposite side this time. Lengthening through the left arm. Roll over onto your side, your left side. Drop that right arm behind the back, reaching the fingertips towards the left hip. Bending the right leg, plant the sole of the foot into the earth, just behind the left leg, and breathe into the body. Take that right leg, stack it back on top of your left. Drape that hand, or take that hand, that right hand, plant it back into the earth. Release the belly back down onto the mat, pressing into the palms of the hands. Press your glutes back towards your heels. And come into that baby or child's pose for a gentle counter stretch in the spine. Releasing any tension that you may be experiencing from those last exercises. And take those hands forward, press the forehead up away from the mat, come back into your tabletop position, curling the toes under, pressing the hips into the sky. Beginning on our left side, we're going to come into our pigeon pose. So lengthen through that leg, lift it into the sky, exhale, bend the knee, rotate through the ankle, lengthening through the leg, bend the knee, and drop that knee down behind your left wrist, and come long through your right leg. Make sure that those hip points are both pointed down into the earth. You don't want to have one lifted up and twisted. I'm going to make sure they're both pointed down. You can come down onto your forearms here, or you can lengthen through both arms. So just listen to your body, and wherever feels most comfortable and safe, that left ankle should come up behind your left or your right wrist, right elbow. Mine doesn't do that. I don't have the extension in my knee that allows for me to move like that. But if some of you guys do, you can touch that ankle up so that it's in alignment with the knee. One straight horizontal line across your mat. And just take those deep breaths. Never pressing into pain or tingling in numbness, being sure to ease out if you feel any of those levels of discomfort. Starting to come out of posture really slow with graceful ease, coming up off of the forearms, taking those hands back down into the mat. Curl the back toes under, press the hips up into the sky, and allow that left foot to draw itself back to the right. Pedal out those legs. So we can take it to the opposite side. Inhale, lift up through the left leg, the right leg, exhale, bend the knee and rotate. Inhale, lengthen through the leg, exhale, bend the knee, drop it behind the wrist, lengthen through the left leg. If you can take the right ankle behind the left wrist, feel free to do so. Once you're nice and long, come down into the same expression of posture on the right side as you did on the left. And just breathe into the body, breathe into the hip. If you need to put a blanket or block underneath that elevated right hip, feel free to do so. If you feel like it's going to give you a little bit more comfort in this posture, we always want to feel as comfortable as we can in these postures. Really slow. Come back up onto those hands. Long through the spine, curling the left toes under, press the hips up into the sky, dropping that right leg back to meet the left and pedal out those legs. We're going to come down onto our knees, release the glutes down into the earth and swing the legs around in front of us, lengthening through the legs. Take those arms out in front of you, using your core strength to drop yourself all the way down into the earth, vertebra by vertebra. Use your core. Starting to close up our practice. Inhale and take the knees into the chest and give yourself a squeeze. Holding on to just the right leg, inhale, lifting up through the left. And then exhaling super slow. Drop that foot down into the earth. Reaching out through the right arm. Left hand comes to the outside of the right leg and pulls it across the body, keeping those shoulders grounded into the earth, and taking a gaze over the right fingertips if it feels safe for your full expression of supine twist. And breathe. Feeling the body beginning to relax. Untwist the spine really, really slow. Readjust your hips if you need to, and inhale, take those knees back into your chest. Holding on to just the left leg, inhale, lifting up through the right. Exhale, take it all the way down with grace and ease. Reaching out through the left arm, right hand comes to the outside of the left leg, pulling it across. Untwist the spine, nice and slow. Take the knees back into the chest. Finding that happy baby posture. Grabbing onto the outside edges of those feet. Knees come into the armpits. Soles of the feet are flat into the sky. Taking gentle movement, rocking side to side. Kicking out one leg and then the other. Remaining in stillness. Really slow whenever you're ready with grace and ease. Release those legs. Use your core strength to lengthen through those legs. Finding your final Shavasana, corpse pose. Allowing those arms to frame the body. Palms can be face down or face up. Feet can fall to the side as you sink into your breath. And draw your attention back inside of the self. Relaxing and breathing. What if there's a path for you that is greater than you can envision? What if there's a life for you that is more than you would even know to ask for? What if you are inherently and unknowingly limited by your old perspectives, your outdated ideas of what is possible? What if all that is comfort within your being is simply trying to redirect you to a place beyond anything you've considered before? What if there's more than you know? What if there are things out there so good you don't even know that you're waiting for them? So we step out of our comfort zone and we find out. We give ourselves the opportunity to feel, to experience, to expand into something, to feel into the beauty and the greatness of this life, to say yes. Very slow and gentle, start coming back into your body, wiggling the fingers and toes, wrapping hands around wrists, feet around the ankles, taking those gentle stretches, full body stretches, reaching the arms overhead, pointing the toes in the opposite direction, or taking those gentle calf stretches. Then pulling the knees into the chest whenever you're ready. Rocking and rolling forward and backward, up and down on that spine a few times. Until you rock yourself upright into a comfortable seated posture so that we can complete our practice today. Finishing our practice with 3 long Sat Nam. Sat Nam, I am truth. Truth is my name, truth is my identity. Hands come in prayer pose, thumbs come into the heart space. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully and completely. And inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Namaste. Sat Nam, I am truth. Namaste, I honor that truth. Your unique expression that exists within you without the desire to change you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Hope you're thinking about some of those things that you can be doing to give yourself the ability to feel into the beauty of this life. What can you do today? Even if you're really good at this is something that we can procure more and more and more of. So I appreciate you guys so much, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. I hope y'all have an awesome day. Until then.